And good evening, Eagle and Lady Eagle fans, and welcome out to Buffalo Wild Wings on a Sunday night here. And that can only mean one thing, that it is time for Around the Diamond with Turney and Marks. Excited for a big one tonight. It was a lot of great things happening over the last week. A lot of great softball. You guys finally got back to getting played. We'll talk about that. You were off 8 days, I think, between that Port Barry game and the games that you had on Saturday, Coach. And just he gave you a chance to get back to some things, but you had two big ones on Saturday. First, congratulations on a good day yesterday. Great day yesterday, I think, the way it was. You split up 1-1, but man, if you look inside of it, what a game that was.
It was both of them, and I was really impressed with how they came out and played. Like you said, having that 8-day layoff, we did an inter-squad midweek. We got Wednesday off. We had like a little scavenger hunt, and I think they enjoyed that. Kind of got their mind away from softball a little bit, but still did some team building. But we had an inter-squad. Kaylee threw live against our hitters on Thursday just to kind of get us ready. So I think that helped out, doing that on a Thursday instead of doing it kind of earlier in the week, so we didn't have a big layoff of live pitching. But we started off a little slow against Barb. But after that first round, and everybody got their light timing back and got their at-bats going, we started hitting the ball well.
Yeah, absolutely did. And that was such a tale of 2 or 3 games in that one game, because there's the game before Kaylee gets hit.
Yes.
There's that time in between where I don't think anybody around really knew what had happened to it. Come to find out, it was a lot better than it looked originally on there, because it goes off of her glove and hits her, I believe. And then there was that big time afterwards that your girls just rallied and said, look, we're not going out like this.
They did, and that was one thing that really surprised me, because when Kaylee got hit, it scared everybody. We didn't know what was going on.
Right.
I mean, thankfully she got her glove up, because if she didn't, that's I don't know what kind of injury that ends up being, because it kind of caught her behind the ear because she turned her head as well.
Yep.
So thankfully it hit off her glove, and then she went down, and Mika came in, and I was surprised with that little girl. She came in and threw great. She gave up a few hits, but in a situation like that where she doesn't, not even expecting to pitch, and she's, hey, come in from right field, hang with them pretty much.
And look, she's shown that every time that we've seen her throw. It's been limited this year, but every time she comes in, she's around the zone, she's in the strike zone on there, and really that's all that you want. Let that defense that you have play and work. And I mean, I keep looking around at different things on there, but that catch out in left field that was made by Bell, that she made on that hard shot that was out there. There was just a lot of great defense that was played.
There was, and the thing that I talked to Coach Hunter about this after the game, we had a lot of dogs this weekend, and typically you don't see that in a softball game. And the way they rallied around after when Kaylee went down, and we kind of gave up the lead, and we had a goal we were trying to reach. We had each individual goal that everybody wanted to see during the game, and one of them was not lose an inning.
Right.
Or win every inning. And we go in, Kaylee goes down, we give up a 4 spot, and of course everybody don't know what's going to happen, because I felt like the wind kind of came out of our sails when she went down.
Very briefly.
Very briefly, but then we came out in the bottom of that inning and put up a 4 spot and tied it, went right back to a 1-run lead, and it was a dog mentality. Sawyer, I mean, look at Sophie, what she's doing on a bad back. Well,
she struggles to bend over and pick the bat up.
She does.
We've seen that with her, but she's all in the rest. Every time.
She is. Thankfully, it's more of a discomfort than an injury. She's got like an old injury, so she's got some scar tissue. It's pushing on nerves and things like that.
At the first of the game too, she goes to backhand one and doesn't get the glove all the way down on there, and I think that's just a tightness thing. I just don't. I think it's difficult. She goes down there and stretches and gets through one later in the game. But if it's 100% Sophie, she makes that play.
Yeah, she does. And I'm personally known with back problems, and so I know how much it hurts to try to do anything when you have a back issue. And she's had that dog mentality. Like, I go to tell her, I'm like, it's time for you to rest, and she's like, no, you better not take me out.
Yeah.
And so we had a lot of them. There was probably 4 or 5 or even 6 of them that had that mentality the entire weekend, and it was good.
Look, one of the, I guess the things that stick out, I love the defensive part of the game. Softball is what softball is. There are a lot of home runs that are hit. And I love seeing that. Seeing the smile on Sawyer's face when she hits that second home run. And I mean, her hands are as high as they could be in the air when she's coming around there, and she gets around the bases still fast. But the defensive part of it is what separates it. And you've got probably one of the best defensive catchers that I've seen in a while. Parati is just doing big things back behind the dish.
She is doing great back there. She is shutting down the running game, and look at the big schools. I mean, she shut down the running game against Barb. I think Calvary tried to run on her, and she threw somebody out in that game, and it shut that running game down. And
then she goes over and has to get that one that's in foul territory that she goes over and gets.
I gave her so much grief about that one because it looked like she was running at it like this, like she was praying, catch it, and it fell in her glove, and it worked. But no, she's been phenomenal back there. Yes, I'm talking about you.
That's right. So the last time we were here, Coach, we had talked about the district title that they had won. They finished 5-0 on the season for district play. And so what we wanted to do, we had some cups, and I ended up without any cups left. I don't know. Everybody was grabbing the cups on there. So I said, look, we got to do something else. So what we did was make these cool little T-shirts that have Lady Eagles. It's them Lady Eagles. And then it's got 5 2A district champions on the back of it, 2025, and a list of all of the girls' names on there. So we've got one of these for the coaches. We've got one of these for all the players. Every player that's in attendance is going to get one.
I love it.
So the rest of them that are here, I don't know what happened to them tonight.
They can buy one from the 446 Sports shop.
That's exactly right. So we wanted something that would just leave a little a memento for that, and that's from one of our great sponsors, BU Designs by Melissa Gann and 446 Sports here. They do our Player of the Week as well. But got a box of
we appreciate that.
Shirts.
That's so awesome. We appreciate that a bunch.
And parent shirts will be ready tomorrow for tomorr's game.
Okay, good deal.
So we'll have all of those ready. But I've got a box of the rest of them on there. So speaking of tomorrow, I tell you what, let's take our only break here. Chuck, if you can get rid of that mountain of nachos real quick. God dog, this dude with these the nachos here are ridiculous. I'm thinking nachos, you got like a little tray of them or whatever.
It's typically what you get everywhere.
Well, not here. This thing is a mountain of them. So Nick ate half of them, and he's got half of them in a box right there. Now, I don't know if they'll make them home, but he's got half of that on there. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have our Player of the Week. We're going to talk about that big matchup coming up tomorrow night. That's going to be a really good one. We'll do all of that when we come back. You're watching Around the Diamond with Turney and Marks on 446 Sports.
Eye Associates, right now is the best time to have your cataracts removed. A new year means a new deductible. So if you're just not seeing as well as you used to, schedule your cataract evaluation today. It's fully covered by all medical insurances, including Medicare. You never need a referral at Wallace Eye Associates, and our method of next-generation cataract care is the most affordable in the state. There's only one team, one focus, your vision. Wallace Eye Associates.
In Central Louisiana, you might see me at ballparks or soccer fields, or we might cross paths at the grocery store. I'm your local Farm Bureau insurance agent, your local expert when it comes to protecting what you love and depend on. I'm Jason Hall. Learn more about how Farm Bureau insurance can save you time and money. So talk to Hall at 318-791-HAWK and let me help you protect your biggest investment. Real service, real people. Farm Bureau Insurance.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier. Transactions are getting safer. And you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use. Anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
Central Louisiana. This is your home for live sports action. From the field to the court, 446 Sports delivers the games you love with expert commentary and passionate coverage. Cheer for your favorite athletes and live the moments that define our community spirit. Our sponsors are listening. Together, we bring you the best in local sports coverage. Join the 446 Sports family today. Watch, cheer, celebrate. Subscribe to our YouTube and follow us on social media. 446 Sports, where Central Louisiana comes to play.
And we are back here, Buffalo Wild Wings, on a Sunday evening on here, having a great time. We're going to talk about our Player of the Week in just a moment. But before we do that, Coach Brad's got a couple of the players on there. Before we do, you saw that commercial, said following us on there. Here's what I need, and this is right up y'all's alley on there, because y'all are on your phones and social media, and I mean, at your age, that's what you guys do. We're about 35 followers away on Facebook from 10,000.
Oh,
so
wow.
I need you to get all of your friends tonight before we get off the show. Send out whatever that group text thing. I need to go on our 446 Sports Facebook page and hit that follow button and get us to 10,000 tonight. That's our goal for the show.
10,000 followers. That's
10,000.
amazing.
We're getting there. It's very humbling to us, without a doubt. But sitting here with Kenzie Lyles, Kate Parati, joining us on here. Tremendous weekend that you ladies had. 1-1 on Saturday, but for 6 innings, you were hanging with arguably one of the best teams in the nation on there, and y'all were right in there. How cool was that?
I think it was pretty cool.
Yeah, look, that's at an eighth grade year, that's a big step.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, look, Kate, you as well. You look like you didn't move. And I talked to you after the game, and I've talked to you on this one too. The play behind the dish for you is some of the best that I've seen.
Thank you.
What fuels you for that?
I don't know. Just wanting to get outs and have good games and do good for my team.
All right. Enough of the humility and the humbleness. That's great. You threw the first girl out by about 3 steps on there, too, and then you just kind of walked back like, yeah, that's right. Blow off the gun there and all of that. When you see her going and you got that throw and you know it's there, how does that make you feel?
Just excited, and I'm just excited that excited.
Look, that's 3 excited, so that's very excited.
It makes us excited, too, when we get to pump our fists when they throw that out down at second base. It's fun.
Look, and I mean, the throw was right on the money. 3 steps ahead of time. The catch is there, and you've got confidence in your middle infield, I know, is going to receive that throw, because a lot has to happen throwing a runner out. I mean, you got to get it there. The pitch has got to be there, the throw down, and it's got to be received and tagged. Do you have any fear when it gets down there to Sophie or to Emma?
Not really. Not anymore. At this point, I just chunk it down there and trust in them.
And trust in it. That's right. Coach, what have you seen out of these two? I know we've talked a lot about them, too, throughout the year. But what have you seen out of them that you say, you know what, I like that?
Well, the biggest things, like we talked about in the last segment, is both of these two are 2 of the ones that I was talking about that are getting that, like, dog mentality. Like, Kate behind the plate will not let a runner out of her sight. She'll throw him out at second base. She'll back pick him at first. She'll try to back pick him at third. She's aware of the running game, and you don't find a lot of catchers that do that. And that's kind of like that dog mentality I was talking about. And then you got Kenzie over here that it seems like every game she's coming up with 2-3 hits. I mean, her power numbers have been tremendous this year, and it's fun to watch, and it makes me excited for the future.
And it's not only the power, and that's one of the things that we saw. She hits the ball around the field. You do a great job of just putting it into play and getting things going, because you hit the ball as hard in the park as you do out of the park on there. Yes. Yes, okay, thank you. So, look, you didn't hit one out on Saturday. Was it because we weren't a target out there for you because we were up in the bleachers?
I think so.
You think so? Yeah. Look, I'm going to get one of those cardboard cutouts or something if it's like that and stick out there of me. And that way you'll have something to go. That game had a lot of tension in it. The first one when Kaylee gets that ball off over there at the plate. The mound or circle. What was going through your heads there?
I was just thinking I hope that Mika can step up and do what we need right now and help us finish the game.
Coach Brad told us that the goal is not to lose an inning on there, and you gave up the 4 runs at that point, but I think it was just one of those surreal moments where we're not really back in the game yet, and you gave up the 4. But when you got the bats going, y'all right back in it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, when they did that, you come out of that, the top of that inning, we gave up that 4 spot, and like you said, it's such a surreal moment. Like we just tried to make it through that inning, not worried about what the damage was. Let's just make it through the inning and regroup and get us back off the field. But in that short amount of time, they reset, regrouped, went out there, and just like I said, boom, 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 here we go. Let's get it going again.
You talked about Mika, who came in at that point, and we've seen her play in right field. We've seen her come into the circle. She came in and did everything. Coach Brad, talk about her a little bit.
Like I said, she came in the first game. I think she was a little shell-shocked, like, oh, my God, what's happening, what's going on? And before we knew it, we were a couple runs down. And what really impressed me is she didn't get down.
That's right.
Most kids that come in, especially young kids that come in that situation, they get beat around a little bit. They're going to come in and they're going to be down. But she came in, she had that same cool, collective mentality. The girls picked her up, and they knew that they were behind her. Kaylee ended up coming back into that game. I think that was the only inning that Mika threw. Did she throw 2 in the first game?
I think she threw only 1.
She threw 1 because you came in and hit for 4 runs in the next inning.
That's right, and that gave Kaylee time to regroup.
I think she actually hit in that next inning.
But when Kaylee went down in the second game and she came in and she was around the zone, I think she had a couple walks, but she didn't give up a hit until she gave up that 2-run home run.
And you talk about coming in against a team that has hit now 80 on the season out of the park. That's just to know that you've limited. That was great.
It was, and we limited them really well. They went off in the 7th inning, of course, we saw that, but that game was a lot closer than what the 9-1 score showed.
It's 1-1 in the 6th, which is Mika, phenomenal.
I still can't say enough about Mika. She come in, she was throwing the fastball. She wasn't, she was so young she didn't understand the magnitude of the situation, so maybe she went in with a calm head that, hey, this is another game right now for me, but it worked. It worked. And we called, you can ask Kate, we called a lot of pitches up because those are the big home run hitting team. She gets them a little off balance a little bit. Right. Now we get the pop-ups, we get the rollovers, and the pitch that she hit out, we called it up and out. I said, let them go big again. And she missed down a little bit, and they got extended, and it got up in that wind and got out of there. But
yeah, and that wind was easily 25 miles an hour out. Yeah, and it was great to see. And has just done everything in right field that you needed to. And I know she's not here tonight, but with her performance, Coach, that was our thoughts that she
definitely deserves this
BU
award
Designs
right
446 Sports Player of the Week is Mika Keogh in this one. So, Mika, you'll get that. We know that they'll bring that out to you tomorrow, and we're excited about that. So, last week, you had the whole week off from Friday all the way through here. What was that like? I know you did some stuff as a team there, but how was it not having a game for over 7 or 8 days?
It's kind of boring.
Because you're definitely in the heart of the season. Now, you make up for it this week. You've got 4 games this week.
Yes,
a big one tomorrow night. What does that game mean? Because it is a couple of local teams that are doing battle. There'll be great crowds out.
Yeah.
They will. Buckeye travels well, and they play well, so it's going to be one of them games that's going to challenge us. So it's going to get us ready for what we need to see the rest of the season. So
how exciting is that, knowing that you've got – it's going to be – because you guys have grown up with them, all your lives. So what is it coming and seeing that type of game?
I think it's just fun because so many of us know so many of them, and it's just fun to play softball with the people,
Right, absolutely. Looking forward to a big week without a doubt. Thank you for stopping by. We certainly appreciate that. As always, it's great to see you ladies in here. And did Coach Brad I don't have the shirts. I hope I don't fall out of this chair.
I got you, babe.
This is going to be very awkward if I do. So one of the things that we want to do is we've got y'all some District Champs shirts made. Got all your names on there and the championship. So we've got that for you. Coach Brad will get that to everyone on there. But that's just our way of saying what a great congratulations.
He said they were free for the ones in attendance. Everybody else that didn't come,
that's right. Everybody that's here that's a player gets one of those for free. The rest of them, I don't. We'll take care. Right? How about that? Yes. That's what I'm talking about. Absolutely. Way to go. Guys, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll look ahead at this big week that's coming up. We'll do all of that and get ready for the baseball boys that are just around the corner. But we've still got some unfinished business here. We'll be back in just a minute. You're watching Around the Diamond with Turney and Marks on 446 Sports.
Check out some of our recent work at the Panthers Stadium. In addition to custom signs and banners, we also handle custom trophies, custom awards, custom vehicle wraps, and more. Give us a call. We handle projects large and small.
Firehouse Subs just partnered with Hot Ones to create 2 new hook and ladder subs.
One with pickles marinated in Last Dab Reaper sauce to test yourself.
And a milder one with crispy garlic chips if tests aren't really your thing.
Find out how hot you like it for a limited time at Firehouse Subs.
Are home problems turning your life upside down? Trust Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing to save the day. From keeping you comfortable to plumbing repairs and even generators, we do it all. Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, your one-stop solution for AC, plumbing, and generators. If you need us to save the day for you, call Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing or visit us online at southernairnow.com.
Back to Buffalo Wild Wings on a Sunday evening, setting the table for the baseball boys to come up with us here around 7:40, 7:50, somewhere around there. We'll get them over here. But Coach, tremendous week. Tell us about what's coming up this week. We know we got the big one tomorrow night.
Yeah, we got Buckeye coming in tomorrow night. There's a team that's playing well. They're always playing well.
Yeah.
Justin does a good job with those girls out there. So that's going to be a fun game. It's going to be a challenging game, which is going to set us up for the week. And then we travel to South Bow on Thursday.
And the Lady K's always seem to put something together. It's always, whether it's basketball, softball, whatever it is, they're going to field a good team.
They're scrappy.
Yeah,
they're scrappy.
that's right.
And then South Bow comes back to us on Saturday, and we got Florian after that. We got a little round robin going on Saturday again.
And that's one of those that now, if you don't understand the term round robin, that means there's smoked wings in between the games.
Yes.
That's what I know out of it, too. That's, boy, we had
Sal does a great job with those.
Sal, yeah, that's, and he always puts me a sample of each kind. Anyway, yeah, they'll give. I know there's softball to be played, too. Don't get me wrong on there, too. We looked at some stats earlier. Ladies are hitting over 350 as a team, I think 361.
361 as a team right now. That's incredible. I mean, as a team, that's incredible. To have a couple of hitters over 360 is phenomenal, but to have as many doing as well as they are, we're in a good spot right now.
Up to 7th in the power rankings and have some big games ahead of that one tomorrow night will go a long way, of course, in this. But things wrap up for the season on Monday. Is that right?
Tuesday, yeah, the 15th.
Okay,
we got a Rose Pine makeup on the 14th, and then we got Sacred Heart coming in on the 15th.
Okay, so you guys have 6 games remaining then
6 games
on the schedule on there. And certainly games that you're going to be competitive in, and every one of them an opportunity to finish this thing on a 6-game winning streak. A lot of work to do out of it, of course, but as well as you're playing, and you go back to the first of the year when we talked, and you said, look, we're doing this if we can control the errors some, because you had committed the bulk of your errors in your losses.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the 10 losses that we have, we got I don't want to say it, but we're traveling a speed limit on a city street somewhere. I think we got like 45 or 48 in those 10 losses. So that's definitely been the crutch. I mean, if we cut those errors in half, we're sitting at 15, 16 wins right now. So
in some of the wins that I've seen, you talk about the Rapides one, even. Some ugly wins that you've had, but you get the win out of it, and you're okay with that. This loss in the second game Saturday, I think I was just as pleased with the way they played for those 6 innings. And, of course, Calvary did what Calvary did in that 7th.
Even the 7th
But I'm telling you, that was a well-played ball game.
It was. I was really, really pleased with what the girls did. Like I said, they went out there and they had that dog mentality that didn't let injuries, hurt, whatever, get in the way. They went out there and played defense. Like you said, you had Drago that caught that tough line drive out in left field. And, I mean, Sawyer out in center field. She controlled extra bases when they did get base hits. I mean, everybody did well. Emma over at second base. Bunt coverages. I mean, how many did they drop right in front of the plate and we still managed to get outs? I mean, a lot of times you will see bunts, good bunts like that, and they're not quick enough to make those plays. But Kaylee jumped on it. Emma was over there. Addie jumped on it. And I think Kate even got one on that.
That's correct.
So, I mean, everybody was contributing, and it was good to see because that shows that we're in a good spot coming down the stretch.
And that's where you want to be. And where you want to be next Sunday is right back out here at Buffalo Wild Wings, no doubt about that. But tomorrow night, that game is at?
It's at 5:30.
5:30, so make sure that you're out for that one at the Nest. We'll go on the air about 5:15 tomorrow night in that one from our perch out in left field. And big shout out to the folks that put that up there for us. We're excited about that. Congratulations once again to Mika Keogh. She is our BU Designs Player of the Week. Coach, congratulations on a big week, and good luck on this one up ahead. And we look forward to seeing you out at the Nest.
All right, thanks.
There you go. We're going to take a break, step aside, and we'll let the baseball boys come and close our show out for us. We'll do all of that right after this break, guys. It's been a great one. We'll see you tomorrow night out at the Nest.
Firehouse Subs just partnered with Hot Ones to create 2 new hook and ladder subs.
One with pickles marinated in Last Dab Reaper sauce to test yourself.
And a milder one with crispy garlic chips if tests aren't really your thing.
Find out how hot you like it for a limited time at Firehouse Subs.
Central Louisiana. This is your home for live sports action. From the field to the court, 446 Sports delivers the games you love with expert commentary and passionate coverage. Cheer for your favorite athletes and relive the moments that define our community spirit. Our sponsors keep us in the game. Together, we bring you the best in local sports coverage. Join the 446 Sports family today. Watch, cheer, celebrate. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on social media. .446 Sports, where Central Louisiana comes to play.
And welcome back to Around the Diamond with Coach Turney and Coach Marks. I'm Nick Magnano, joined again by Danny Clear, and we have Coach Jordan Marks with us. Coach, I had to get my composure back for the peanut gallery here, but we have a good time. So, Coach, let's talk about this past week. You had a great game against Buckeye to start the week off. Let's start with that one.
So, Buckeye, we started off kind of, slow, so to speak. I mean, we gave up 3 runs in the first inning without a ball leaving the infield, and I was like, oh, my gosh, here we go. But, the guys battled, and we used that as a bullpen day because we had a 3-game set with Kinder this past weekend. And so everybody was on a pitch count. So Procell started, then we came with J.D., and then ended up going with Tishner at the end. And, we were down 2 or 3 runs, 2 runs at the end. And, 2 games prior to that, we won them in the 7th innings, and we walked one off and then hit a game winner at Grant in the 7th to win that one. So 7th inning rolls around, and we're like, come on, guys, when are we going to start? And then, the dugout gets crazy, and leadoff guy gets on, and, just start manufacturing some things. And by the end of it, we got bases loaded, no outs with Procell up, down 1, and I think everybody in the park, at least on our side, had full faith in Procell to come through right there, and naturally he does. So that was an exciting one, which I thought was going to give us a lot of momentum, and I think it might have, going into Kinder. But no, I mean, it was a big win for us. Buckeyes a rivalry across town, and they're a really good ball club. I got nothing but respect for Coach Stewart and what he does over there at Buckeye, and I think they got 20 wins now, and a big PowerPoint game for us.
And I can't remember for sure, but it goes to speak about how much production you're starting to get from that bottom of the lineup. But if I remember right, didn't we start that with a walk with Reed?
With 8, 8-9 hole.
And I mean that's huge, getting those guys on base. Cutter goes 2 for 3 with another couple bunt hits, but those guys getting on base and turning your lineup over. It leads to good things all season.
No doubt. And we've been doing that lately. The 8 and 9 hole for us in the past 2 weeks have, been the one to start rallies on games that we win. And, that that's our motto. Find a way to get on. When it gets late in the ball game, find a way to get on, and those guys do a really good job of it. So hats off to them.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Purcell was the only one that hit it out of the infield that inning. Reed walked, then Cutter
bunted,
gets on and then Reeves bunted and got on.
And then Parra had an infield single as well with the infield in. He hits a high hopper behind over the third baseman's head that the shortstop had to field. And
your guys ran the bases well to get in that position, and then like you said, Purcell, and we'll talk more about Purcell later as well. But talk about going now. For you all who don't, know a lot of you guys watch the show, so the people about the district championship series was for between you and Kinder, best 2 out of 3, and that's for the district championship. Talk about that one.
So Thursday we had the first game, and all 3 games were at Kinder. They beat us during, call it regular season, and so we ended up having to be the 2 seed, so we had to travel to the 1 seed to play a 3-game set. But anyways, we go down there Thursday night, and JD throws a heck of a game. I think he was under 80 pitches through all 7 innings, and we ended up losing that one 1-0 and got walked off there late in the 7th. But look, we left 16 guys on, and that was our fault. We didn't win that game, and the guys knew that, and they, we talked about some things after the game and on the bus ride home, and they showed up Friday ready to go, and we beat them 7-1. Purcell throws another great game, kept his pitch count down and didn't walk anybody. Gave us a chance to win, and our hitters started hitting the ball, and you hear me say it all the time, hitting's contagious, and that's what happened. One or 2 guys started hitting balls, finding the gap, and then next thing you know, we're up 7-1, and so anyways, I thought that was going to bring us a lot of momentum going into Game 3, and it just didn't fall our way. We had a couple guys struggle throwing strikes, and that's the main thing in high school baseball. You got to throw strikes. High school hitters, as much as I love the guys and love the game of high school baseball, the high school hitters will get themselves out. You don't have to do it for them. They will get themselves out. Young hitters will definitely get themselves out. So just wasn't our day, but we're going to work on some things this week, and we got 3 more this week, which we'll talk about later, but we're going to use the momentum. I thought they fought back really hard. Getting walked off 1-0 on the road, you got to turn around the next day and go back there. The atmosphere is crazy. There's fans all up on the fence. It feels like it's on the field. It's not a very big backstop, so all the parents felt like they were on the field with us. So that's a lot of energy and a lot of what's the word I'm trying to say? Adversity to go through as a young squad, and I thought we handled it well. I told them after Game 3, guys, I'm proud of y'all. I'm proud that we kept battling and kept fighting, and we took it to 3 games. We didn't get swept. Now, would I like to win it? Yes, but let's learn from what we did and didn't do and move on.
Well, I think that's what we mentioned it in the broadcast a couple times last week, or during the Buckeye game for sure. And you hear it when you listen to these college games and everything. You're getting toward the end of the season. So these guys that didn't get a lot of time last year, these freshmen, these sophomores that didn't play a lot, they've almost got a full year under them. Yeah. And you can tell they've grown into some of that. There's some games that, even the Buckeye game the week before was those games that you've won that you might not have won early in the season.
Right.
But those guys that, again, those freshmen are basically sophomores right now.
That's right.
Because they played almost a full season.
Almost a full season.
Yep.
Absolutely. I agree 100% with that. And my goal this year was, as a coach and as a coaching staff, I would say, look, as long as we're better in April than we were in February, and I think anybody that comes watch our games or kept up with us all year, that's definitely the case. So proud of the guys for working, proud of them for, buying into what they need to do, and hopefully we finish this thing strong.
Well, while we're talking about the district tournament per se, is that something maybe next year that you might pursue, because you talked about having to, and I know the home field advantage is critical because they beat you guys, on the first round of it, but is that something that maybe you try to come say at least we get 1-1 or 1 home, 1 away, or one
That's
away?
going to be a conversation.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. I mean, we played at Kinder 4 times.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's very fair. And then now, on the positive side, I'm using it to our, put it in our arsenal that, look, we played on the road of series, high intensities, high pressure, high everything. And so, we're going to use it to our advantage, but we're going to have a conversation in the offseason. We're going to try to fix some of that stuff because I think it should be 1-1-1,
Who's the district chair for you?
It was Kinder.
Okay.
And not that it got set up like that. I wasn't a part of that meeting. Our athletic director went to that, and there wasn't nobody for baseball to go. Doug, stop. But we'll have another meeting this summer, and I'm going to be at that one. I'm going to definitely voice my opinion on that. And I've talked to some other coaches in the district. I think we'd like to see that change.
Yeah, and this is the first year in this district, so it's
learning. It's doing something. Always when you change something, you find things that's going to work. And for the next time.
Yep.
So
no doubt.
One of the things that we were talking about, and this is just stuff, but how 1 and 2 could have a bye. 3 plays 6, 4 plays 5, and then you kind of
make a tournament.
Yeah, because you still would be max 3 games. Most likely. In that case, but. So if you want us to go help you, we could.
I'll
draw
tell you,
up the bylaws for you.
I'll tell you when the meeting is. Y'all come sit in on it with us since we're all a team here.
So let's talk about the stats from this past week. And you had some, like you said, you've already mentioned the pitchers between JD and Peyton. And let's talk about some of the hitters, how well they did this past week. 4 games. That's a lot of games in really a 5-day period.
It is. It's a lot of games. And I think Buckeye out-hit us. I think it was we had 7 hits that game. They had 8. But the Kinder game won when we lost 1-0. We had 7 or 8 hits, and they had 2.
Wow.
So we out-hit them and then take a loss after JD throws his tail off and nothing to show for it.
How many pitches in the 7 innings?
I
You
think
said 72.
I think it was like 72, 79, something like that.
79 pitches.
He was at 43 through 4.
Wow.
And so they got the bases loaded there in the last inning and extended his pitch count, but he should have ended that game right at 70, if not under. And averaging 10 pitches per inning, I mean, you can't ask for a better performance for that. And then I don't know what the game 2 at Kinder when we beat them 7-1. How many hits did we have that game? I mean, I know we out-hit them.
7-7, actually.
No, 7-7. They were just sporadic.
And just looking through the games, the box scores there, outside of Reeves on that game, and then I think Cutler in the Buckeye games, that was the only multi-hit game that somebody had. So like you said, timely hitting was probably, there was a lot of hits, or I say a lot of hits. There was enough hits, just not enough timely hits.
Not enough timely hits, and that's exactly right. I think we left in game 1 when we lost 1-0. We left the bases loaded 3 innings in a row, and with less than 2 outs at the time. And we had guys. The moment kind of gets big, and you try to do too much, and it's all a learning experience. And so we talked that, we preached it all year. It's going to take a year of those guys hearing that kind of stuff before it really sets in. Because they're still pressing. They're nervous. 14-year-old kids, 15-year-old guys, playing in varsity for the first year, and those moments get big. What is he doing?
He's showing me a clock. I have my phone right here. So
he put us on a timer now.
Maybe I just need to be like Doug. I maybe just need to tell Chuck when to push the buttons. Okay, not how to, but when to. No, but yeah, I'm glad that you guys brought that. We are going to take a break. Not because of Chuck, but we're going to take a break here. When we come back, we're going to change it up a little bit for this second segment. We're going to bring our BU Design Player of the Week in. Coach Jordan will stay with us on this segment, and then we'll talk to that young man. So you're watching Around the Diamond with Turney and Marks on 446 Sports.
At Wallace Eye Associates, right now is the best time to have your cataracts removed. A new year means a new deductible. So if you're just not seeing as well as you used to, schedule your cataract evaluation today. It's fully covered by all medical insurances, including Medicare. You never need a referral at Wallace Eye Associates, and our method of next-generation cataract care is the most affordable in the state. There's only one team, one focus, your vision. Wallace Eye Associates.
In Central Louisiana, you might see me at ballparks or soccer fields, or we might cross paths at the grocery store. I'm your local Farm Bureau insurance agent, your local expert when it comes to protecting what you love and depend on. I'm Jason Hall. Learn more about how Farm Bureau insurance can save you time and money. So talk to Hall at 318-791-HAWK and let me help you protect your biggest investments. Real service, real people. Farm Bureau Insurance.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier. Transactions are getting safer. And you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use. Anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
Central Louisiana. This is your home.
And welcome back to Buffalo Wild Wings here in Alexandria, Louisiana. We're now joined by our BU Design Player of the Week, actually first two-time winner this year, Peyton Procell, freshman Peyton Procell. Congratulations, young man. Wow. So there's your plaque. So Coach Jordan, let's talk about the week that Peyton's had.
So Procell, he threw 2 games for us this past week. He started the Buckeye game and then started game 2 at Kinder. And on both of those outings, he threw 10 innings. And go ahead and take your picture. You smile too. He threw 10 innings and he gave up 0 earned. Now he gave up some runs, but they weren't earned. And as a freshman, that's 2 big games to throw in, and we rely a lot on Peyton, and he does a good job for us. And then he also had the walk-off hit at Buckeye too. So not only on the mound did he do it, he's doing it in the plate. He has been all year, and he's one of our guys. That's why I stuck him in the 3-hole early and said, man, just get used to it because you're going to be there for a while. And it's. I had 2 players last year that we did the same thing with. Cooper and Drake. I left them in the 3-4 hole since they were freshmen, and look at the players that they became. So, we got high hopes for Peyton, what he does for the program, and, we're going to ride him as long as he can go.
Well, we appreciate, I know Coach Jordan does too, we appreciate that walk-off, and my broadcast partner over there, he got a little excited about it. It's down. So, talk about that play, Danny.
No, first of all, Coach Jordan and I talked about after the game.
Hey, Chuck, my thing's off.
Jeez, I can hear him.
That's what happens back home. This is what happens whenever the peanut gallery's messing with you and the breaks.
So we talked. Coach Jordan and I talked after the game that had a little tough luck in that first inning when you was pitching against Buckeye, but after you got things settled down, you come back out and was able to work your way back into the game. How did you manage to get through all that with some bad luck in that first inning?
Well, I was just thinking on the mound, just don't press, just keep throwing strikes and do my job, and it'll eventually come through.
Okay. And then we come up with bases loaded, down 1 run. What was you thinking? Was you even?
Oh, I knew I was about to walk it off. Yeah, I knew I was about to come through.
We have heard that you do not lack confidence, which is not necessarily a bad thing.
Well, I was correct in my statement. There wasn't a person that didn't doubt Peyton, even himself.
And then just looking at the game from Friday at Kinder, again, great job pitching. But one walk, 1 strikeout. And so your defense was playing well behind you on that game, huh?
Yes, they were. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, considering they, had 7 hits, in the game, and you only give up 1 run, that's very big in high school. What's the we're not going to go through all the, the favorite this, favorite that, but so far, what's the difference between week 1 of the season as a freshman and now? What's been the biggest change for you?
Honestly, I don't really see much of a change. I just play baseball, just play every single game, same way.
Cool, calm, and collective, huh?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. All right. Well, then we'll do this. So far up to this point, is that walk-off probably your best memory as an Eagle so far?
Probably so. Yeah. Probably.
My question is this, Coach.
Yep.
Why do they dogpile whenever we've got more games to go?
It's just what you do. It's what you do. If you watch the big leagues, they still do it. So I guess we're trying to imitate the big leagues, but no, that's just what you do at baseball. When you walk it off, it's a dog pile. And I hear y'all get nervous. Whoa, we still got more games. It's a soft dog pile, though.
I got you.
It's not like football where you got a bunch of pads.
We go back to who was that got hurt on the pile before
the pitcher, LSU.
Was it Mestpeg?
I think so. The spike cut his throwing hand, so that's where we're old like that. But no, but seriously, we've been trying to get Aaron, his backflip. Okay, so I finally am on there where Danny's like Nick, and the team gets in the way. So we need to talk to Brevell about, hey, if we end up in that situation again, let's keep a good view for the camera. But no, congratulations, Peyton. You've had a wonderful season so far, and look, we still have plenty more to go this week. Another big week for you guys. But once again, our BU Design Player of the Week, Peyton Procell. Congratulations, young man.
Thank you.
Nice job, buddy.
So we'll be right back with we're going to talk about this week's games coming up. You're watching Around the Diamond with Turney and Marks on 446 Sports.
Check out some of our recent work at the Panthers Stadium. In addition to custom signs and banners, we also handle custom trophies, custom awards, custom vehicle wraps, and more. Give us a call. We handle projects large and small.
Firehouse Subs just partnered with Hot Ones to create 2 new hook and ladder subs.
One with pickles marinated in last dab Reaper sauce to test yourself.
And a milder one with crispy garlic chips if tests aren't really your thing.
Find out how hot you like it for a limited time at Firehouse Subs.
Are home problems turning your life upside down? Trust Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing to save the day. From keeping you comfortable to plumbing repairs and even generators, we do it all. Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, your one-stop solution for AC, plumbing, and generators. If you need us to save the day for you, call Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing or visit us online at southernairnow.com.
And welcome back here to Buffalo Wild Wings. So, Coach Jordan, we're talking about this week and 3 big games for sure. Let's start with the first one on Tuesday away to Anacoco.
So that's a game that we had at our place last year, and we're returning the favor, and we're going to them. And you know, Anacoco's always a quality, Class B team. They are a Class B team, but they're always, a quality baseball and basketball team, boys for sure. And it's going to be a big one. It's at their place. You know, we go on the road again. That's be 5 games in a row that we play on the road. And I know they're almost a 10-win team. I know by the end of the year they'll be over 10 wins. So big game. And then turn around Wednesday, and that's senior night. So we got Sacred Heart at home on senior night, Wednesday, 6 o'clock. We'll probably start. We'll start senior night about 5:20, right before we do in and out and all that stuff. And recognize the 3 seniors that we have that's done a lot for our program in the past. And Sacred Heart, you know, 15-win team, 14, 15-win team. They're a Catholic school just like us. And it's, you know, similar playing people the same caliber as you. So they're going to be good. They're going to come in looking to beat us, especially this late in the season. And then we turn around Thursday, and we don't have an easy one. We've got a 19-win Gina team coming to town. So big week, you know, and that's kind of what we touched on after the Kinder loss on Friday night, that, hey, guys, look, I'm proud of you, this and that. You know, we didn't get the result that we needed, but guess what? You get to wake up and the sun's going to shine tomorrow, and we got 3 games next week. Let's try to go 3-0. And so that's what we're working towards.
Well, and that's things it does. It sets up, first of all, again, we don't always play for PowerPoints, but it's a factor.
Yeah.
These are 3 games that would factor in your end of season rankings for where you're going to be in the playoffs. Then also what it does is you're playing 3 nights back to back. It's going to be similar to a setup of a playoff.
That's right.
And so you're going to have to line up arms and have availability, and so yeah, I mean it's another a pre-season or postseason practice for you.
That's exactly right, and it's the last full week of the season. You know, the last play-in day is a week from tomorrow. And so this is the last full week of the season, and that's exactly why I did that, Danny. I played back-to-back days just because that's probably what we're going to do in the playoffs, because I'm totally against double headers. Your catchers are tired, your people are tired, everybody wants to go home, you know, and then come back the next day. So that's why I did it back-to-back. It's going to be exactly what we're going to do in the playoffs. It's what we've done in the past. Of course, if the other coach agrees to it. But I think these 3 games mean a lot. I think they're the most important 3 games I can tell you, because we either go from hosting a playoff game at home on Easter weekend, or we have a chance of getting 8, which is a home second round game, if we take care of business, and other people on our schedule are going to beat the teams that I think that they can beat. I think we can slip into the 8 spot. Now, not to put the cart in front of the horse by no means, but just to say what's on the line.
That part of the season where you start, you know, picturing that, you know, and starting looking at your scenarios coming up. So,
That's right.
It's not, you know, again, preseason, you got 3 seasons, preseason, regular season, and postseason, and you've got to start thinking about that.
That's exactly right. And so, I mean, the guys know it's a big week, and we've prepared them as a staff all year, you know, to go in and be successful this week. So I don't have any doubt, and I hope we come out Tuesday night and kind of set the tone for the week. So that's kind of my message. That's going to be my message to them is, hey, let's set the tone tonight. You know, we got 2 big ones at home. This one's on the road. Let's set the tone for the rest of the week, and let's hopefully ride some momentum.
Everybody physically,
everybody's healthy.
Ready.
Everybody's healthy. We had some banged knees this past weekend at Kinder. I don't know what happened, but I'm pretty sure everybody's 100%. Lane's knee started bothering him late. I think he was just on them too much. You know, like I said, that's 4 or 5 hours of baseball. I mean, that's a lot. So, and then Nico tweaked his during in and out, and he was actually unavailable on Friday. But but I think he's going to be all right. I don't think it was anything major. I think it was just something, you know, precautionary that we just decided to hold him out.
Okay. Well, before we let you go, let's talk about the senior night one more time. So you said the festivities are probably going to start what time?
They're going to start around 5:20.
Okay.
So you know, let's try to pack the park for those guys, those 3 seniors. It's one of the last times they get to play on, you know, the Holy Savior Menard's turf field or whatever. And it's a big night for everybody. We bring in somebody. Mr. Wayne Ballman comes in and cooks a lot of fish, and he's going to cook for about 100 people, and so we're going to enjoy cake and fish and supper after the game, and so hopefully, you know, it turns out our way. But that's always a big night for us.
It'd be shorter this year than it was last year.
It'd be a lot shorter. It'd be a lot shorter. Last year we had to start that thing at like 4:30.
Oh, yeah. The person that was doing announcements, she needed an intermission.
That's exactly
She
right.
needed a 20-second timeout.
That's exactly right.
So you probably most likely going to do the dad and the dad and the son.
That's something we do. I got them a gift. I got flowers for their parents, and then we let each dad of the senior, which was Preston Brandon, Abram Gales, and Robert Henry. We let the dads throw out the first pitch, and since there's only 3, we'll do one up on the game mound at a time. So they're going to have a little pressure too. Last year we kind of just lined them all out and started, but everybody's going to get on the game mound this year, and the seniors also have a surprise for their dad afterwards that we do. It is a surprise, so I'm not going to say it, but you'll see it Wednesday night. So.
And set up the tables like last year?
Yep, we're going to do the same thing. We got a big cake or cupcakes and a cake, and it's a nice night. And we're, celebrating 3 guys that, like I said, have been with us for 4 years, all 4 years of high school, and so they mean a lot to the program, and they've done a lot for us. So special night.
Yeah, we've been involved with a lot of them over the years, coaching and being parents. And I tell you what you guys do, it's up there with some of the best that we've seen. So, like I said, this week at Anacoco, we won't have that one on the broadcast. We will be there Wednesday for senior night against Sacred Heart, and then we'll also be there Thursday night for Gina when they come here. Please come out, watch it live. Turn it on your phone whenever you're there. Use it as a replay, and then definitely go back and watch it. So I guess we'll thank these 2 guys over here. So for Doug Gann, appreciate Doug, appreciate Chuck Perkins pushing all the buttons, not just physically but also emotionally with me. He's Danny Clear, Coach Jordan Marks. I'm Nick Magnano. You all have a good evening. May the Lord bless you.